Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving deep into Amazon CloudWatch. This is AWS's really central monitoring and observability service. Think of it like the maybe nervous system for your
Huh.
cloud stuff. Yeah. It's collecting metrics, logs, events, all sorts of things. And the mission really is just keeping your applications healthy, available, and running smoothly.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating, I think, is how it gives you that complete operational picture. CloudWatch isn't just about knowing if something is slow. It's about quickly understanding why. And critically, giving you the tools to troubleshoot, to fix things before
hmm
they really blow up. It's pretty foundational if you're managing anything in the cloud.
Okay, so if it's the nervous system, where do we start? How do we take its pulse, check its health? What's that first signal?
Right, that's CloudWatch Metrics. That's your immediate read on the vital signs. These are time series data points, like the heartbeat, as you said, of your AWS services. We're talking CPU usage on an EC2 instance, that's your virtual server, or maybe request latency for a Lambda function, the serverless compute service.
And these aren't just random numbers thrown at you, right? There's structure there.
Exactly. Metrics are highly organized. You've got namespaces, these group metrics by service, like AWS EC2 for EC2 instances. Then you have dimensions. They categorize things further. So an instance EA dimension lets you look at one specific EC2 instance. This structure, it really means you can zoom in fast, go from the big picture of a service right down to a single resource. Makes troubleshooting way quicker when you need to pinpoint something. Plus, you get resolution options. Standard is 1 minute. But there's also high resolution, down to 1 second. Super important for, really dynamic stuff where every second counts.
And the cool thing is, lots of AWS services just send these metrics automatically. It's like a built-in early warning. But you can push your own custom metrics too if you need something specific. And CloudWatch stores them for, what, up to 15 months? This data is just key for spotting trends, identifying bottlenecks, maybe even predicting problems before they happen. It helps you shift from reacting to, well, preventing.
That's it. Metrics tell you what's happening,
Hmm.
the numbers.
Right, but sometimes that heartbeat tells you something's wrong, but not exactly what caused it. How do we dig deeper? How do we find the root cause?
Ah, okay. That's where CloudWatch logs come in. Think of logs as your forensics team. They provide the story behind the numbers. These are the detailed text records, error messages, application events, you name it. They explain why things are happening. It's like being a detective, really. Metrics give you the clue, maybe the high CPU. The logs, that's where you find the actual error message, the stack trace, the detail.
A digital detective agency, I like it. And I assume, like metrics, these logs need organizing. You can't just have a huge pile of text.
Absolutely not. They're organized into log groups. These are like
Yeah.
containers for logs from a specific source, say a particular Lambda function or an application running on EC2. And inside those groups, you have log streams. Those are sequences of log events, usually from a single instance or source within that group. Makes tracing what happened in one specific process much easier. And then there's log insights. This is huge. It lets you run SQL-like queries across potentially massive amounts of log data. So instead of digging manually when things go wrong, you can search, filter, aggregate, find that needle in the haystack almost instantly. It saves so much time during an outage.
Like having a super powered search engine just for your logs.
Yeah.
And you control how long you keep this evidence, right?
Yes, exactly. Retention periods are configurable. You can set them from just 1 day up to 10 years, or even mark them to never expire. That's crucial for compliance, maybe audits, or just long-term analysis. And again, services like Lambda just automatically send their function logs there. It's pretty seamless. Plus, you could even set things up so logs trigger actions if they match certain patterns. Yeah. Another layer of automation for your investigations.
Okay, so we've got the numbers from metrics telling us what. We've got the details from logs telling us why. The real magic happens when you put them together, right, for full monitoring and maybe more importantly, taking action.
Precisely. That's where alarms come into play. They watch those metrics. They can even watch metrics derived from your logs using metric filters. And when a threshold is breached or something looks off, they trigger automated actions. Think sending a notification via SNS, that's the simple notification service, or maybe telling an auto-scaling group to add more servers because the load is high. And it's not just static thresholds anymore. CloudWatch has anomaly detection.
Ah, anomaly detection. That sounds smart. How does that work?
It basically learns your application's normal patterns over time, its baseline behavior. Then you can flag deviations from that baseline, even if they don't cross a hard-coded number you set. It helps catch those subtle issues, the weird things that might otherwise go unnoticed until they become bigger problems. Really useful for complex systems.
That sounds powerful. Does it does it require much tuning, like avoiding false alarms?
That's a fair question. Yeah, it needs a bit of a learning period initially. And you can tweak the sensitivity. The key is to let it observe for a while, maybe refine the models if needed. But once it understands your app's rhythm, it's incredibly effective. And of course, to see all this stuff, metrics, logs, maybe alarm states, use dashboards, real-time visualization, all in one place.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, the listener? CloudWatch really feels foundational, doesn't it? For observing, managing, optimizing anything you run on AWS. It's about staying ahead of the game.
Absolutely. For anyone just starting out, a couple of quick tips. First, just start simple. Monitor a basic Lambda function or an EC2 instance. Get a feel for metrics and logs. Second, be mindful of costs. CloudWatch isn't free for everything. Metric storage, log ingestion, queries, they have costs. So manage your log retention wisely. Be smart about custom metrics. And third, security. Always important. Use IAM policies, that's identity and access management, to control who can see or configure what. Use KMS, the key management service, to encrypt your logs if needed. Which actually brings up an interesting thought. How might really embracing proactive monitoring with CloudWatch change how you approach building applications right from the start? Thinking about resilience from day one rather than just, fixing things when they break, something to ponder.